Well, it's been one of those weeks. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you please like the video at the end, if you like it obviously, and please subscribe. We're approaching 500 subscribers now, so thank you guys very much. It'd be really nice to get past that mark. So the week has been a bit of a mare, I don't mind telling you. And here's what happened. So I didn't work Monday, and the reason for, there's two reasons for it actually. Number one is that Valentine's, obviously, on the Tuesday. I wouldn't see my wife on the Tuesday at all. She was on a late. So we went out on Sunday. We had a few drinks in the afternoon and just spent some time together on the Sunday. And then Monday, she was at work, and it's been a bit dog eat dog recently. And Mondays, obviously, in particular, people are up wanting to get out and about. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take some time off, do a few other bits and bobs around the house. So that's what I did. Took it off. And the other thing is that, you know, because things are so difficult at the moment, you know, there might be weeks and days which are, you know, you need to put a bit more effort in and the work's available. So I'd rather probably spend the time doing that than scrapping around trying to find stuff. So that was Monday. Tuesday, we did two jobs, just the two jobs on Tuesday, and the second job ended up being a bit of a pain in the backside because, as you've seen from the clip already at the beginning of the video, I got a flat tyre. And not just flat, it was rock solid, rock solid flat. It was, yeah, it weren't good. I got a job over to Leeds, and I did that, not a problem. Hung around a bit in Leeds, and then I just started to move a little bit, and the job came up from York, and it was going to Altrincham. So I picked that up as well. So money wise for Tuesday, actually, I hit my minimum. Well, I was over my minimum, so money wise weren't too bad. And then I hit traffic. I was actually behind Dave at Anvil Logistics at one point, and I actually passed him and waved him as we went. And he was going off onto the M61 and I was going around the M60, and the traffic was horrendous. And the sat nav were taking me off because of the traffic was so bad. So I came off to try and cut through Manchester. And as I was coming off, the traction control went on, and I thought, oh, something doesn't feel quite right. So pulled up as soon as I could. I could see my tyre was going down. I got out my little pump that I've got. I thought I'll try and put some air in it, try and get to my drop off. We're about 8 miles away. See if I could manage, but unfortunately it wouldn't go up. In fact, it went down. It was flat as a pancake. Oh, that's a point. It's pancake day on Tuesday. Flat as pancake. So had a bit of a mare. So I'm stuck in the middle of Manchester in this little line that lay by on a busy road. Now, I've changed many a tyre in my time, and I would consider myself to be someone that can change a tyre. However, I could not figure out how to release the tyre from the van. And it was a wire one, basically. Weren't in a cage at the bottom where you undid a nut, which I thought it was at the time. It was on a little pulley system. And I got the manual out, and I just couldn't figure it out. It was really, really difficult to understand. Now, some of you out there are probably thinking, you should know these things. And you're right, I should know these things. And I do know now for future reference. But at the time, I couldn't figure it out. Couldn't do it. Couldn't sort it out. So I had to call the RAC. So that put me on an hour. Now the goods that I was carrying were being shipped out from this other place, or half of it was being shipped out from this other place. So the shipper rung me back, and she said, obviously I'd told them what had happened and where we're up to, and they said, listen, we need to get these goods to the customer. I'm going to arrange for a driver to come and pick them up. So I thought, okay, but in my mind I weren't overly happy because I wanted to complete the job. Obviously, it's what I've been given to do, and there's a lot of guilt sets in. I'm working for a customer, and yeah, all right, these things happen. I get that and I understand that, but you want to complete the job. You want to do the best job that you can. So this driver rings me, and he says, yeah, I'm going to come and pick you up. He said, I roughly know where you are. I'm going to be there in about 40 minutes. So I went, right, okay, no worries. And I said, well, just to let you know, RSC have just rung me, and they're only 0.9 of a mile away. I said, so chances are they're going to be here before you are. By the time you got here, I've probably fixed, done, off on my way. So we got in touch with the office, and they said, no, we still want the driver to come. So the driver ended up on his way. Driver, a really nice chap, to be fair, and I arranged with him that I would ring him. Sure enough, RAC was there, quick sticks, released the tyre after figuring out himself, changed it over, all good. I was on my way and I managed to complete the goods. So, not the best day. And then on the way home, I got stuck in the M60 traffic on the way back. It was horrendous, an hour and a half. I was stuck in traffic, just crawling. It was not a good day, Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I ended up not going out because sorry. Wednesday I did one job on Wednesday. Thursday, I could not get a job. For love nor money, I could not get a job anywhere. I was putting bids in. I was putting in bids for the next day later on. Couldn't get a job. So I ended up not working on Thursday. So that's 2 days I've lost last week. And then Friday, just got a couple of jobs. Again, over to Yorkshire and back over. So it's finished me off on a really, really horrible, awful week. And what it highlights is the feed is still not brilliant. The feed is still very, very difficult. The pricing, which is something I want to go on to with shippers, which I'll do in a minute, is difficult to understand where to go and what to do. And even someone that's been on the CX for over 12 months is struggling to just figure out what's best way to go about it. And again, the guys that I'm speaking to in the community we're all in the same boat. We're all struggling a little bit. And funnily enough, it was only a few weeks ago I was saying how I'd had my best ever week on the CX. And I think that's just the luck of the draw, really. I'm still a firm believer in decisions you make or what you do. There can be certain elements of luck in what you're doing. So, still difficult, still struggling, and at the moment, it doesn't feel like it's picking up any. And again, there's I'm sure you guys out there are feeling it the same. It's just, yeah, it's tough. Even my shipper that I do quite a lot of work for, has got nothing at the moment. So, yeah, it's very, very difficult. So I just wanted to go and just talk a little bit about shippers. So not so much, now this isn't for the smaller shippers. I find that the smaller shippers still pay well. They give really good communication. You feel like you know where you are with them. But obviously they won't have as much work on as well. But the smaller shippers, as it were, yeah, the work is still good for them. But a couple of the bigger shippers, and you guys will know the shippers that I'm talking about, are just every time you put a bid in, they come back to you. can you do it for this? I've only got this on it. And it frustrates the hell out of me. And I know it frustrates some of the other guys out there, because at the end of the day, we are on a bidding platform. We are bidding to do work. If you're in a situation where you are ringing me back and saying, can you do it cheaper than that? Then you think to yourself, well, what is the point of putting a bid in? Because if I put a bid in of £100 for a job and you're coming back and saying, well, I've only got 90 on it, well, that's not what I bid. I bid £100. So I've had the situation twice this week. I had it a couple of times last week, and it felt like it had gone out the window a little bit last year. And it was only my experiences. Last year, towards the end of the year, I weren't really getting anyone counter bidding me, as it were. But this year, it's happening more and more and more. And I know everyone's trying to save money, and I know there's not enough work out there, but I think these big shippers need to understand that we charge an amount. A majority of the guys have lowered their amount because they're struggling to get work in and win bids. And then on top of that, we're being asked to do jobs cheaper. And my advice is, stick to your guns. If you put a bid in for a job and you've got a shipper ringing you back saying, can you do it for this? Number one, you've got to ask yourself the question, why are they ringing you? They're probably ringing you because you've already got the best bid in. Probably. Or maybe you've got the best feedback at the same bid. You might have 5 other people bidding for the same job, the same price, but you've got the best feedback. And they're still asking to cut you back. And it's not right. It's not really how the CX works. So stick to your guns, because we all know they're making money by realistically getting the work, yes, and subbing it out to us. They've got to make a living, they've got to make a profit. I understand that. But it's tough out there. And if you are bidding for a job and you want to do the job for a certain amount of money, that's your price, that's your bid, stick to it. You've got to stick to it, because otherwise you're going to do it for peanuts. You're the one that's going to go bust. They're still making money on what you're doing. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And I'd love to know what profit margin they're making. I'd love to know if they're still charging the same amount. Because like I said, because we're bidding for jobs, we're not actually making the same amount of money per job. I'm wondering if they've changed their pricing strategy. I'm guessing they haven't. Just trying to keep a bit more profit in the job for themselves. But I don't know. But that's for the big boys. I don't find it with the smaller shippers. I think the smaller shippers usually are people that's done the work and been out and about themselves. And they're the ones that understand and appreciate that you've got to earn a living and you've got to run a job. And I also don't think that sometimes you can look at a job at, say, 50 miles, and if you put £1 a mile on it at 50 quid, you know, and they're saying, I want it for 45, then number one, it's not just the fact that you're losing money on the job, but you're also losing time. And as it is at the moment, you know, I'm in a situation, I might get a job in the morning, but I'm just not confident getting another one in the afternoon. So it's hard. So stick to your guns, guys. It's massively important. Anyway, I think that's it for the week. It's been a horrendous week. We've had bad traffic, got stuck in that. We've had a flat tyre. We've not taken a lot of money. And this week I think it's probably going to be similar for me. Well, hopefully we have the flat tyre and the traffic, because it's half term this week for my daughter. And my elder daughter, who's at college, was off last week. So, me and my wife are still at work. So I may have to do a couple of days off again next week. I might have to try and get in some late hours and maybe even some dead miles to try and get some money in. But yeah, it's still tough out there. Hopefully it'll pick up soon. So like I said to you before, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps, you know, keep the channel going, and it helps get more information out there. Please, if you've got any comments or feedback, please let us know. If you're any shippers out there that's working for the big boys especially, or you've worked for the big boys and you know what they're up to, by all means share it. Let's have a look what's happening. And by the way, I'm not trying to have a go at the big shippers. Just saying as it is. Please guys, just understand we've got to make a living. It's hard. Anyway, listen, hope you all have a better week this next week. Maybe you've already had a good week and it was just me. Keep safe, keep taking money, and I'll see you soon.